Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Jacob Fatu defended his United States Championship in a fatal 4-way match at WWE Backlash. Solo Sikoa interfered in the bout, but he didn't show up alone. Even the Samoan werewolf was in disbelief. The U.S. title bout was the opening match of the show, featuring challengers Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, and Damian Priest. The megastar faced the champion at WrestleMania 41, while the Archer of Infamy wrestled the Scottish Warrior at the Show of Shows. Drew McIntyre was just 1 second away from walking out as the new U.S. champion. However, Damian Priest pulled the referee out of the ring before he could count to 3, leaving McIntyre furious, as he had LA Knight pinned. The two stars went over the timekeeper's area and continued to fight through the crowd. Damian Priest then sent Drew through 2 tables with a Future Shock DDT off a huge crate. WWE crew and officials went to check on them. LA Knight was about to send Jacob Fatu through the announce table with an elbow drop off the top rope, but Solo Sikoa pulled the ladder off the table. LA Knight was about to attack Solo Sikoa when he was taken out by debuting Jeff Cobb. Fatu didn't expect this and was as surprised as everyone else. The Samoan werewolf retained the title. WWE Back 2025 will go down in history as one of the most unpredictable and game-changing pay-per-view events, not just for the match outcomes, but for the seismic shifts in power and loyalty that shook the foundation of the Bloodline. Amid the high drama and intense matches, a pivotal moment came when Jacob Fatu, the Samoan powerhouse and rising star in WWE, was faced with a potentially career-altering situation. But in the most shocking twist of the night, it wasn't Roman Reigns or the USOs who came to his aid. It was Solo Sikoa, the enforcer of the Bloodline, stepping up in an unexpected and explosive way. This shocking sequence of events left fans in awe, as Solo Sikoa made a bold move that not only saved Jacob Fatu, but also altered the trajectory of the Bloodline faction for the foreseeable future. Here's a deep dive into how Solo Sikoa's surprise interference at Backlash 2025 not only saved Fatu's title reign, but also redefined the power dynamics within the legendary Samoan faction. Jacob Fatu's defining moment: retaining the U.S. title at Backlash. Jacob Fatu had already been on a meteoric rise in WWE, firmly establishing himself as a champion in the making. The Backlash 2025 event featured Fatu defending his United States Championship against a formidable adversary, marking a pivotal point in his career. The match was high stakes, as not only was the title on the line, but Fatu was also looking to further solidify his place as the next heir to the Bloodline's throne. A victory at Backlash would prove that he was more than just a member of the Wwe family. He was a force in his own right. The match was nothing short of a spectacle. Fatu's opponent was no slouch, and the contest quickly turned into a brutal back-and-forth battle that saw both competitors pushing each other to their absolute limits. The ringside was filled with electricity as Fatu's strength, agility, and power were on full display. But despite his tenacity, it became apparent that his opponent was also a formidable adversary, and the outcome of the match hung in the balance. It was in these tense moments that Backlash 2025 took an unexpected turn. As Fatu prepared to secure the win with his devastating finishing move, the Samoan submission machine, a new threat appeared from nowhere. The interference came out of nowhere. The lights dimmed, and the unmistakable sound of Bloodline music hit the speakers. Solo Sikoa's shocking intervention. The Bloodline's new enforcer. For many fans, Solo Sikoa's sudden appearance at Backlash was nothing short of jaw-dropping. While the fans had become accustomed to Roman Reigns and the USOs dominating the Bloodline narrative, Solo Sikoa's role had been more in the shadows. Known for his no-nonsense approach and physicality, Sikoa had been a key player in SmackDown, but had not yet been positioned as a central figure in the Bloodline storyline. But as the arena roared, Solo Sikoa stormed down to the ring, his intentions unclear. Fans initially thought he might be there to support Fatu, but what happened next was an absolute game-changer. With the referee distracted by Fatu's opponent, Sikoa slid into the ring, and much to everyone's surprise, delivered a brutal Samoan spike to Fatu's rival, dropping him in an instant. The crowd went wild with confusion, unable to fathom what they had just witnessed. Was Solo Sikoa betraying his cousin Jacob Fatu? Or was he there to protect him? It quickly became apparent that Sakoa had just ensured Fatu's victory by taking out the challenger. The shocking interference allowed Fatu to seize the moment and capitalize on the damage done by Sakoa, immediately locking in his finishing maneuver and forcing his opponent to tap out. The victory was sealed. Jacob Fatu had retained his United States Championship, but the shocking intervention from Sakoa would leave fans buzzing for months to come. A new alliance? The Bloodline's changing dynamic. Solo Sikoa's actions raised more questions than answers. His interference seemed to blur the lines of the Bloodline's internal power structure. Roman Reigns, the undisputed leader of the faction, had always been the top dog, with the USOs as the loyal tag team unit that followed his lead. But Solo Sikoa's actions suggested that he might be positioning himself in a new role, one that was more than just the enforcer, but potentially a leader in his own right. This intervention was a powerful statement from Solo Sikoa, not just in terms of his loyalty to the Bloodline, but in the way he intended to shape the faction moving forward. His interference in Jacob Fatu's match at Backlash was not just about saving him in that moment. It was about making an impact and asserting his own dominance. Fans were left questioning whether this marked the beginning of a new chapter for the Bloodline, with Solo Sikoa emerging as a potential force that could rival even Roman Reigns' leadership. For Jacob Fatu, the interference from Sakoa was both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, he retained his title, something that was crucial to his development as a wrestler and member of the Bloodline. On the other hand, the intervention put him in a complicated position. Fatu had built his identity on being a fierce competitor and a worthy successor to Roman Reigns. Having Sakoa step in to secure his victory might have been seen by some as a sign of weakness, even if it was done with good intentions. Despite this, the alliance between Fatu and Sakoa added an intriguing layer to the story. It was clear that there was respect between the two, but could Sakoa's actions lead to a deeper bond? Or would it set the stage for a rivalry between the cousins, each vying for dominance within the Bloodline? What does this mean for Roman Reigns? The intervention of Solo Sikoa begs the question: where does Roman Reigns fit into this evolving narrative? Roman has always been the cornerstone of the Bloodline, but with Sikoa stepping into the spotlight, will there be a shift in the power dynamics? Will Roman's role as the undisputed tribal chief be challenged, not by external threats, but by those within his own family? Roman has never been one to shy away from confrontation, especially when it comes to those closest to him. The possibility of internal strife within the Bloodline could be on the horizon, with Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa positioning themselves as potential rivals to Roman's leadership. If Solo Sikoa continues to show this level of ambition and dominance, it's only a matter of time before the stakes within the Bloodline become even higher. The road ahead for Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. For Jacob Fatu, the road ahead will be one of redemption and redefinition. While he has the U.S. title, his victory at Backlash came with a new set of challenges. Fatu will need to prove that he's not just the beneficiary of his family's legacy, but someone who can stand on his own 2 feet. The presence of Solo Sikoa only complicates this. Will Jacob embrace Sikoa's aid, or will he seek to prove that he can succeed without it? For Solo Sikoa, this moment could be the spark he needs to rise as a key player in the Bloodline and in WWE overall. His actions at Backlash solidified him as more than just an enforcer. They positioned him as a potential leader. The WWE Universe will be watching closely to see if Sikoa's newfound role is a flash in the pan, or if it's the beginning of a long-term power shift within the Bloodline.